Is the speed of your Toyota slowing down below 30 miles per hour? Or does your engine idle or tremble when you use the brakes? Your engine may be seriously hampered if your throttle body is unclean. It's not always a broken throttle body. It may cost between $500 and $800 to replace. However, if you neglect it for too long, work makes up the majority of that. The mere act of opening the hood costs mechanics around $150 each hour. This is the finest part. You just need a few items from your neighborhood car shop to clean it yourself for less than $20. Here's where I'm useful. In this video, I'll walk you through the process of cleaning the throttle body of your Toyota step by step, using simple tools and no specialized equipment. But what makes the throttle body important? Toyotas typically only have one throttle body. That is, unless you are driving a really expensive vehicle with a large engine, such as a V8. The way your Toyota drives may be significantly improved by keeping just one component clean. Imagine it as the gatekeeper that allows air to enter the engine. More air is released as the throttle body opens up in response to pressure on the gas pedal. That air combines with the gasoline. Your engine then reacts with force. Butterfly valves are tiny metal plates found within throttle bodies. Depending on the force applied to the pedal, this valve pivots open and shut. It communicates with the computer in your automobile using sensors to maintain smooth operation. In the majority of Toyotas, the throttle body is situated between the engine and the air filter. The more you push the pedal, the more air enters. Add extra gasoline, the engine is told by sensors. Also, your vehicle accelerates. What makes it filthy now? As you may imagine, I replace my air filter on a frequent basis. Therefore, my throttle body ought to be clean, correct? No, not quite. Despite the presence of a fresh air filter, the engine of your Toyota still has to cope with a lot of debris that may accumulate over time. Carbon deposits, gasoline residue, sticky oil fumes, and microscopic dust particles are all on the table, inside the throttle body, all of which like adhering to the walls. This is the process. Your engine uses the intake to take in air each time you drive. In the event that crankcase ventilation is positive, the PCV system returns greasy vapors to the intake, which frequently happens. A sticky, gunky coating is created when that oil combines with dust. And you know where it lands? Around the throttle plate. Air-letting mechanism that opens and shuts. This brings us to another factor that many drivers find surprising: water. Moisture may be drawn into your air intake system if you drive very quickly through deep water or big puddles. It may begin to corrode the metal within the throttle body if that water gets inside. The butterfly valve may get sticky and not open or shut smoothly due to even a little amount of rust. Corrosion may sometimes result in sensor failure or inaccurate engine data. Think about the accumulation of oil, dirt, and even corrosion over time. It makes the hole smaller, restricts airflow, and throws off the sensors that control your fuel mixture. What happens if it is disregarded? It can be a filthy throttle body if your automobile begins to stall out, surge up and down, or idle excessively. Or maybe a problem with a vacuum leak, the IAC valve, or the idle air control, among other associated components. But don't worry, in most cases it only requires a little cleaning. Discover where your Toyota's throttle body is located first. When you drive an ancient Toyota with a carbureted engine, such as one from the 1980s or early 1990s, the throttle body is integrated into the carburetor. A basic cable is attached to the gas pedal. As you push the pedal, a valve opens to allow additional fuel and air to enter. However, things operate a little differently with the majority of contemporary Toyotas made after 2000. In these fuel-injected vehicles, the throttle body is a distinct component that is typically located directly in the center of the engine's intake manifold and air filter box. Nowadays, a lot of Toyotas use drive-by-wire instead of a mechanical cord. In other words, your throttle body receives an electrical signal from your gas pedal. More air may enter when you push the pedal, because the butterfly valve within the throttle body pivots open. Make sure you have the necessary equipment on hand before you open the hood. It is quite easy to clean the throttle body of the majority of Toyota models at home using a few simple tools: a little socket set or a screwdriver to release the intake hose, a pair of safety glasses and rubber gloves to protect your hands and eyes, an aerosol for cleaning the throttle body, an old toothbrush or a softer one. Clean rags or paper towels, please. Should it be necessary, a little amount of all-purpose oil for mild lubrication, swabs of cotton for confined areas. Additionally, a mass airflow sensor, MAFEF, is a definite precaution. Although not required, cleaner spray is useful. Throttle body cleaning is available at almost every auto parts shop and is often located close to the other engine sprays. You may also use carburetor cleaner or a can of WD-40 if you can't locate it. As long as it doesn't leave residue, it's okay for fuel systems. With everything ready, it's time to thoroughly clean the throttle body of your Toyota. Additionally, if you're still unable to locate your throttle body, ask someone to push the gas pedal. Observe carefully. It's your throttle body that moves. Step 1. Disconnect the negative connection of your automobile battery for safety before proceeding. Ascertain that the engine is off and fully cool. At this point, disconnect any ducts or air hoses that attach to the throttle body. A wise action.
Put masking tape on each hose and mark them with a label. This will help you remember where they go when it's time to put them back together. Remove the clamp from the air intake hose with a screwdriver. Wiggle it off gently after that. If there are 2 air tubes on the throttle body of your Toyota, you will often only need to remove one to provide enough access. Consider enjoying this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel if you've read this far. This makes my vehicle advice more frank for you. 2. Apply the cleaner to the throttle body. Make sure you have safety eyewear and rubber gloves on before you begin spraying. It's possible that throttle body cleaner is harsh. To clean the throttle body, it is not necessary to remove it. Directly spray the cleaning onto the internal butterfly valve. Make certain to spray the valves front and rear. If your Toyota's throttle is an older cable-operated kind, you may manually open the valve with gentle pressure. However, avoid forcing your car's throttle open if it has drive-by-wire electronic throttle control. It's possible that you may harm the engine. To open it, instead use the gas pedal. You may gently wedge something like a stick or shoe on the pedal, or ask a friend to assist. To get rid of all that debris, let the cleaner soak for 10 minutes or so after turning it on. Step 3. Remove the dirt by scrubbing it. Is now time to begin cleaning. Gently scrape the interior of the throttle body, paying particular attention to the butterfly valve's edges, using a soft toothbrush or cleaning brush. With a fresh cloth or paper towel, remove the loose dirt. See any black sticky things left? Rinse, scrape, and wipe again until it is shiny. Always wipe up any droplets surrounding the engine, and take great care not to spray cleaner on any sensors that are close by. Use a cotton swab to dab a little drop of general-purpose oil where the throttle shaft and body meet once everything seems to be clean. As a result, it moves more smoothly for longer. Step 4. The mass airflow MF sensor may be optionally cleaned. Want the most performance out of your Toyota? Moreover, clean the MF sensor. To keep your fuel mix ideal, this sensor measures the amount of air entering the engine. Here's how to securely clean it. The MF sensor is located. A little black box often sits between the throttle body and the air filter. Slowly unscrew it. The tiny wire or plate inside should be held 4 inches away from the MF sensor spray cleaner. Spray it 10 to 15 times in short bursts until it seems clean. Allow it to air dry for about 1 hour. Avoid touching or wiping. Simply let it to sit. Step 5. Reassemble and test it. This step involves reassembling everything once it has been cleaned and dried. Reconnect the hoses and air ducts in the proper locations using the labels you previously created. Snugly tighten every clamp. Start the engine now and reconnect the battery. Give it a couple of minutes to sit. Although it may first sound a little strange, this is typical as the ECU readjusts. Drive your Toyota for a brief period of time. Smoother acceleration, a more stable idle, greater throttle response, and even higher gas economy are all things you should experience. Use these do's and don'ts while cleaning the throttle body of your Toyota, however, for optimal results. Use the appropriate cleaning. It is always best to use a throttle body cleaning. It is safe for the inside components and mild. Take it easy with the spray. Only a few quick sprays are required. Excessive usage may damage your sensors or result in puddles inside. Turn the butterfly valve open slowly. Open it gently by hand if necessary. If you push the gas pedal or use a cable throttle, that is. Don't be forced. Give it time to settle. Allow it to grind and release the carbon for a few minutes after spraying. Scrub it clean. The filth may be removed using a soft cloth or a soft brush. Don't use harsh instruments to scrub. Make sure it has dried completely. Before you reassemble and start the automobile, make sure everything is dry. If necessary, follow the relearn procedures. After cleaning, the throttle of certain more recent Toyotas may need to be relearned. This aids in the engine's smooth restart and idling. Refrain from using degreasers, brake cleaner, or carburetor cleaning. Sensors or the throttle body may sustain damage from them. Keep the butterfly valve closed. Particularly on electronic throttle bodies, never manually push it or pry it with tools. As you clean, avoid starting the engine. It's hazardous, and if the spray is still inside, might potentially start a fire. Avoid spraying near cables or sensors. Don't put the cleanser near electronics. When sprayed directly on them, faults may occur. Do not use harsh brushes or metal equipment. The throttle body may be ruined by scraping or scratching the inside of it. Keep the relearn process going. Ignoring it may result in harsh idling or, in some models, a check engine light. In an instant, your Toyota is breathing easier. If this video is enjoyable to you, you may like to watch how to eliminate bad AC smells, in which I go over 7 do-it-yourself solutions for foul cabin odors.